everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with a brand new speed build, this time doing another suburban build. So this is Mount Pleasant. It's a 5-bed, 3-bathroom build on a 50 by 50 lot in Willow Creek, and it comes in at just less than 340,000 simoleons. So just to avoid confusion, this was actually partially built in Brindleston Bay, and the screenshots and video footage at the beginning was actually filmed over in Selva Dorada, and that's simply because the actual lot that I built this on in the end, or mainly built it on in Willow Creek, has a huge tree at the very front of the house, which when you come to do screenshots, it always gets in the way. So I've actually moved this around just purely for the shots, if anything else. But this actually was built for a 50 by 50 lot, and that's what I've uploaded it to the gallery as. So first off, I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody who entered the giveaway for the Sims 4 Seasons Expansion Pack, which was to celebrate 10,000 subscribers. There was actually 470 unique entries into that giveaway. Now I can tell you that I used a website which randomly picks a comment from the YouTube video, and it will pick unique comments as well. So anyone that did actually enter multiple messages in the comment section, it just takes one comment from each person. And I can reveal that the winner of the Sims 4 expansion pack was Molly Harris, and I have actually scrolled back through the comments and found Molly's comment, and I've messaged her congratulations for winning and to contact me via Twitter just for some details so I can get this game code across to her. But I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody for entering the giveaway, and certainly giveaways is something that I intend to do in the future. If I'm ever lucky enough to become an EA game changer and game codes become available, that's certainly something I'll be doing a lot more regular. So keep your eyes peeled, and definitely when I hit milestones, you know, I like to do giveaways because it's just a way for me to say thank you for the support as well. So you'll be happy to know that I am actually well on the mend now. I'm starting to get my voice back properly, which is just brilliant. My daughter hasn't been very well though. It's just been a crazy few weeks, to be honest. I'm just thankful that it's the school holidays, that we've got the opportunity to have some downtime, you know, and the kids aren't at school and things like that, so we can kind of chill out and relax. But yes, finally, I'm starting to get my voice back, so I'm over the moon for that, and no doubt you guys are as well. So after doing a smaller build last time, and the build before that was like a big modern build, I wanted to come back to doing the big suburban builds because these are what I love doing the most and where I feel the most comfortable. This spot in Willow Creek is really, really beautiful, and it's surrounded by, you know, hills and lots of trees, and it would be like my idyllic sort of neighborhood, I think. I mean, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Windenburg, but Willow Creek does have its very pretty spots as well. Now this is actually the lot that's normally used in the kind of new game version as the park, which is right in the middle of Willow Creek. But like I say, it's really quite a scenic spot. The only thing is trying to do the screenshots because it's just a bit of a nightmare with this huge tree at the front. But we have literally just had a Sims 4 update, which was the brand new gallery we now have in place. But with the patch came lots of different bugs, which loads of people have been reporting. And one of the bugs for me was the screenshots were blurry. So in the Sims 4, you can press the letter C and it will capture a screenshot and it will put it into a separate folder within your Sims 4 game. And it's just a really quick and easy way to do them. But what I found was that when I was taking the screenshots, they were quite blurry. Not really bad, but definitely more so than normal. So the way to get around it was basically to do a normal screenshot using for me, I use Windows 10, so it was the Windows key plus the print screen button at the same time. Oh my God, I can't even tell you what a nightmare this was trying to do screenshots, because every single time I tried to press the Windows key and the print screen button at the same time, I literally just kind of altered out of the game, and I was getting so annoyed. It was like minimizing going back to my desktop, and I was like, oh my God. And my husband was like, yeah, well, there's another way you can do it. You can just press print screen, but then you have to go into Paint and save it. And in the end, I was like, honestly, I'm done. I'm absolutely done. So, for the sakes of my sanity, at the screenshots at the end, you'll notice that they are a little bit more blurry than normal, but thankfully, our lovely Sims gurus and the dev team at The Sims 4 are actually working on a fix for that, so I cannot flipping wait. So at the moment, I'm literally working on the landscaping on this particular build, and this part that I'm doing at the moment with the hedges. Now, what it was, I really wanted to use this particular wall, but I also wanted to use the hedges with it. But the hedges were actually in the normal size too big, and they completely sort of like hid the fence. So I decided to size them down. But on a 50 by 50 lot, that's a lot of sizing down of hedges. So I decided not to put all of that in, because otherwise you'd have been quickly fast asleep watching me trying to size down these ridiculous bushes. But it's well worth noting as well, I did move this house several times, and on one of the particular times I didn't have the move objects cheat on. Now I always build with move objects, because it allows me to just place items a lot closer, which is in more sort of natural positions, in my opinion. So in order to download any of my games, any of my builds, you will need to have the move objects cheat on, because I did go to move this particular build to do some screenshots and noticed that a couple of things were out of place. So just to bear in mind, if you do go to download this house and you look and you think, that looks a bit strange, it's probably because of the move objects cheat. So I'm just moving on to landscaping the back of the house now, and as normal, I really like doing this kind of sculpted, curvy sort of landscaping. It's like my favourite type of landscaping. You probably will have noticed me doing this kind of style quite a lot in my builds. But with regards to activities and skill building items, as always, I always end up putting them in. And we've got things like, we've got a bar at the back of the house, we've got a swimming pool, swings, I think we've got the climbing frame as well, and we've got an easel, a chest table. So there's absolutely loads to do, again, in the grounds of this house, because this is what I love doing the most. I love building houses, but also I love doing the landscaping. So because I've been an actual player before, I know it's quite important to add those little bits and bobs in. So yes, there is absolutely loads to do in this house in the actual grounds, because I always think if I'm going to spend the time in actually creating a nice garden, I should probably put some things in there that the Sims can do. Otherwise the garden is rendered pretty much pointless. And I don't know about you, but my Sims don't really tend to go swimming very often. It just seems to be a bit of a boring activity, if I'm honest. I mean, but I know that the Sims really like one. I know if I ever play in a house that doesn't have a pool, one of their aspirations or thought bubbles, I don't know what you call them, but it always pops up and says, build a pool. So a lot of the time I always end up putting pools in my builds, because I know it's one of those things that the Sims are probably going to end up asking for. Now, I did actually add planters into this garden as well. I don't think I mentioned that before. And I've added them into the front area, like the front garden. I was going to do like a little greenhouse, but I thought I've done that in a few builds, so I'm just going to put the planters at the front. So they're quite accessible as well. It'll be quite easy for your Sims to do some gardening. But I'd say that this garden was quite simple, really. It's just got a few little features. I did a little feature with the tree in the kind of like the central bit of the back garden, where I think I downsized some big bushes and kind of placed them all the way around, and yeah, it gave quite a nice effect. So I was quite happy with the garden in this build. But I'm just moving on now to the interior, and this is the kitchen. And I decided to actually make a big kitchen this time, because I think every single time that I set out to do a big kitchen, it always ends up being really small. I always end up taking loads of counters away, and yeah, it's just like a tiny kitchen. But They're always functional enough though. You got to give me that. But no, I thought this time I'm going to do a pretty big sized kitchen. So your Sims have got plenty of room. But I'd say with regards to the style of this house, it was probably fairly neutral in the downstairs section of the house. There's lots of sort of creams and greys and just cool tones. There's nothing really sort of really brash or anything like that. But with regards to the bedrooms, I definitely personalised them more. I know someone left me a comment in the section just saying it would be nice if I could maybe give the rooms a little bit more personality rather than going for kind of like the neutral look. So I decided to do that this time. I thought that was a good idea. But like I say, I never know who's going to download this house or what their family dynamics are going to be. And I do, in a way, always like my builds to be kind of like gender neutral in the sense that, you know, if you're a guy that downloads this house, it's not full of pink, or, you know, if you're a girl, it's not full of blue. It's kind of like, or I mean, you may like those colours, who knows, but I always try and keep them quite neutral just so that people can just happily play in them without feeling like the interior is a bit not to their taste, if that makes sense. That doesn't make sense, but I know what I mean. So I'm moving on to the dining room now, and this was one of those rooms that just was not working for me this particular day. I think sometimes when I come to build in The Sims, it just doesn't work. Whatever I build, you know, I bulldoze things several times, I change rooms around, and it's just, this room wasn't working for me. But I got there in the end. I think I ended up saving it and closing it down and then coming back to it later where I finished it off. But this is actually one of 2 reception rooms in the house. Now, normally I make kind of like an adult room and then I make a separate sort of children's family room. But I just decided to put in 2 reception rooms that were both like fairly adult, really, in the downstairs area. Now, obviously it is a family home, and I think in the other reception room I have actually got like a fish tank and, you know, some sort of skill building items and whatnot. But obviously you can go ahead and furnish them however you like, or, you know, tailor them, add in whatever bits that you want to add in. But I must say, I didn't go mad with lots of kiddie type stuff downstairs. I did keep it quite neutral, and it's probably because I customized the bedrooms a lot more, so there's a lot of activities for the kids to do upstairs. So this is like the second reception room, which is actually just off the kitchen, and again, it was a bit, like I say, it was a bit more of an adult room, but I think there was a kids activities and skill building table in there, and, you know, there was another computer and various other bits and bobs. But like I say, whatever you choose to do with these rooms is entirely up to you. But I did go ahead and add in a fish tank, which I was rather proud of myself for, because I always find whenever I come to use the fish tanks, they're just so big and just, I can never really find the right space to put a fish tank, and I don't know if I'm alone in that, but yeah, so I never really add them into the build, but that one just had the perfect space in that room for me to fit one in. So yes, we've got a fish tank. So I'm moving on upstairs to the bedrooms now, and this was what I would say was like the teen girl room, and I went for lots of purples and creams. I would say with my interior style, I always tend to be very matchy, and I know sometimes when I go to look at other people's interiors, sometimes, well, a lot of the time, they're not always quite as matchy as mine are, and I don't know why I do that. I think I do that because that's probably how I would do it in real life. I'd probably use a lot of similar tones. You know, if I came to do my living room, if I had a dark wooden table, for instance, I would have like everything else would be dark and wooden. And I don't know, I think it's just the way that I do my furnishing. But sometimes I'm a little bit conscious of it, and I think, maybe I should just add a bit more different, you know, use of different colours in there. But yes, this is actually the teen boys room, which was obviously very, very blue. I did go for kind of like a blue, black and greyish type theme, but I did go ahead and use this corner sofa, which I was quite happy at, because we have got quite a lot of corner sofas now in lots of different swatches, and that's another one of those items that I can never quite find a good enough place to put them. I mean, I know you can pretty much put them anywhere, but when I always place them down, I always think there's something that looks better so I never end up using them. But this is a master bedroom, and again I went for kind of like these nice cool grey tones. This is one of my favourite types of kind of colour combinations as well. I really do love grey, and I must admit I don't really use a lot of it in real life, but I am looking at renovating my house that we recently bought a couple of months ago, and yeah, I think I should probably implement some grey into my real life. So with regards to the upstairs, we've got a master bedroom, we have a teen girls room, teen boys room. This is like the child boys room, and then the last room in the house is like a twin bedroom, which again is for boys. So it's very kind of male oriented, this house, but you know, like I say, you can change it and do whatever you like with it. But the last boys room, which was the twin room, I did go ahead and add in a toddler bed as well. I did go to do that in this room, but I decided to just make it into a single room instead. I must admit, I really like this colour combination in this room. It's one of my favourite kind of combinations for the kids, and a lot of it is based around those curtains, which I just think are so beautiful. They're like some of my favourite kids curtains in the game, and I'm not a big lover of the curtains in The Sims 4, but I must admit, as more packs are released and expansions, we do seem to be getting a lot more like nicer objects, you know, from what the game's come a long way since base game. So yeah, these curtains are some of my favourites. But this is the final room in the house, which is the twin boys bedroom, and I did go ahead and add a single bed as well as the toddler bed there. So I hope you're all having a fantastic week. I must admit, all the days are starting to blur into one now, because the kids are actually on the 6-week school holidays, so it's trying to keep track of the days now. But yes, we are on Friday. I'm excited for that, especially now I'm getting better. That's even a bigger bonus. But thank you so much for watching this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please give me a big thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed already, it would be fabulous to have you on board. But I hope you all have a fantastic weekend as well. And thank you to everybody again for entering the giveaway. I am actually applying to be an EA game changer at the moment, so if I'm ever in receipt of free game codes, you guys are going to be the first ones to get those. So fingers crossed for that anyway. Hopefully I should hear back within the next couple of weeks. But yeah, have a fantastic week, guys, and thanks so much for watching. Take care. Bye.
If I could hear my father's voice, he would tell me to move on. He would say I'll be just fine. Yeah, he would tell me we have time, time to laugh and time to heal. Our favorite song is on repeat, drinking wine until the dawn.